Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'd be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. So let's talk about Jennifer Hudson. Let's talk about she is getting a divorce from David Otunga. OMG. It seems like 2017 is the year of separation, the year of divorce. And it's just sad to see, but they're not really married. They've actually been engaged for about 10 years. So I don't know why they're calling divorce, but I guess it's common law marriage, common law husband, common law wife. And I guess, an engagement is in the promise of getting engaged. So since they've been together for about 10 years, I guess they have to divide property. They have to divide a lot of different things. So what is shocking to everybody is that, Jennifer Hudson, she came out the bat swinging. She came out the door swinging from Jump Street. She's just like, yo, David Ortega, I felt threatened by him. I feel abused by him. I felt threatened by him. And I definitely don't want him to have full custody of our son. And she's just like, she's just feeling like he ain't no good, that he's angry. This is what she says. She goes, he was very aggressive towards her, yelling, intimidating her. And, he seemed very visibly angry, and he grabbed her and physically pushed Hudson out of their master suite. So she is claiming that he has been aggressive, angrily towards her. He physically pushed her. And she's also talking about verbal abuse. I'm like, yo, what is really going on? So it's just like she came out the door swinging, and she wants, to have a restraining order against David, aka Punk from I Love New York. She wants a restraining order, and she wants to have full custody of their son, because she's saying that he is out of control and she ain't feeling him no more. And that's probably the reason why she ain't married him, because if you look at it, it's like Jennifer Hudson is the one that is holding on from them not getting married. She says to Ellen that David ain't going nowhere, where he'll still be sitting there, he'll be there by my side or whatever. And then she did an interview with Essence magazine, and it's in these slideshow where she says that she's not in no rush to get married. You know what I mean? Like, it takes time. So it's just like, it seems like she's the one that's actually not ready to get married. But David, he has stood by for 10 years and let this go on. So what is going on? Or did they both feel that they really wasn't ready to get married? They really wasn't ready to sign their name on the dot, but they lived together, they cohabitate together, they had a baby together. They're probably sharing each other's finance, supporting each other, but neither one actually signed on the dotted line. So if Jennifer didn't want to marry David, should he have walked out and said, okay, it's 2 years, it's been 3 years, it's been 4 years, it's been 5 years, it's been 6 years, it's been 7 years, it's been 8 years, it's been 9 years, it's been 10 years. So I guess 10 years is the number where, okay, I can't take it no more. We ain't gonna get married. There's no future for us. And if the shoe was on the other feet, what about Jennifer Hudson? It's been like 10 years. When do you walk away? Do you stay engaged that long? So it seems like there was always something rotten in paradise between them two, because why wouldn't they take that step to get married after 10 years? It doesn't make any sense. And, Jennifer Hudson is also claiming that he's just no good, basically, and that he's aggressive. He's been physically towards her, and she doesn't feel like he is able to be a full-time dad, a full-time father. And she's not even asking for co-parenting, joint custody. She wants full custody. So if she's coming out the bat swinging because she knows David is actually this type of guy, he's actually abusive, he actually is unstable, he's actually aggressive, he's actually mad, or is she doing this because she's trying to get her finger on the nail first? She's trying to make the allegation first, because whoever throws the mud first, people tend to believe. Is that where she's coming from? David Otunga also says that this is not true. He said he's never hurt Jennifer Hudson. He's never abused her. He's never been mean to her. He's never done anything like whatever she's saying, that he's never physically, mentally, verbally anything towards her, and he's always been a good father. He's always been a caring father. When Jennifer Hudson's touring, she's doing movies, she's doing different shows. He's at home with their son, being a full-time dad. He's a stay-at-home dad. So if he was able to be the stay-at-home dad for about 10 years, or let's give him 7 years, that means that he must be stable, he must be balanced, he must be a good father, because then why would you leave him with your child together, with him by yourself, if he shows these type of behaviors, and if he's intimidating, if he threatens you? Because Jennifer Hudson said that he's intimidating, he taunts her, she's frightened of him, and all this is in my slideshow, where you can read where Jennifer Hudson reported this. So why would she leave her child along with him if she felt this way? Then that means that you have a problem too as well, that you actually are a neglectful parent as well. If you feel like he has these type of behaviors and he's unstable and he frightens you, why wouldn't he frighten your son? Or as Jennifer Hudson believed that he's just, will come after her, disrespect her and hurt her or whatever, but he won't do nothing to their son. Doesn't make any sense. And also maybe, Jennifer Hudson had maids, had nannies at home as well to assist, David Otunga while she was away. So that could be where she believes that the child was safe, because she had nannies, she had housekeepers, she had butlers to protect their son as well when she was away from home. Kind of doesn't make any sense, but David is just saying like, this is not true, he didn't do this. And it just seems like the mud, it gets dirty when people get divorced. They say whatever to get the court on their side, and so you never really know the truth unless you see the documents, unless there's witnesses, because basically it's he said, she said. So are they going to be interviewing maids, nannies and things like that? And it also says that, Jennifer Hudson says David was visibly angry, he grabbed David Jr. by the hand and physically pushed Hudson out of the master suite. She claims their son, a makeup artist and an assistant, also witnessed this incident. So she's saying there's witnesses to this incident. So I guess they're going to be seeing the assistant and the makeup artist and asking them questions. I don't know if they already got statements and documents from, these witnesses, because that's what I was saying. There got to be somebody to corroborate this story. And it also says in legal document, Hudson claims David left a gun and holster on their kitchen counter. He said it was a movie prop, but Hudson said David knows that I am and have been very sensitive to firearms after my mother and brother were murdered by a firearm. She says, I believe that he left it out to taunt and intimidate and frighten me, which he absolutely accomplished. So now she's throwing the dirt, and she ain't playing. She's throwing the dirt, and she's saying that, he did this. Now, do you guys believe that's true? Do you believe that he tried to intimidate her with a firearm? Because I would be sensitive if my mother, my nephew, or my brother was killed by a firearm. I would be, scared to see a gun in the house on a fire holster. Was he insensitive to leave that around, even though he said it was for a movie plot? Or did he actually do that to intimidate her? Only he knows, and only she knows. And also, Jennifer Hudson reported they broke up 7 months ago, but both of them wanted primary custody of their son. However, they had not been able to reach an agreement, and the order of protection gives Hudson exclusive possession of their residence and ordered David to stay away from her and their son. Jennifer also wants the legal right to make decisions regarding their son. David has denied all allegations. So we can see why she would come out and say that if David is abusive and he's aggressive and he frightens her and intimidates her, and it makes sense for her to say, if he really does that, it makes sense, because now like she gets, primary custody of their son right now is awarded by the court, and she also get primary custody of their residential place where they stay at, and he's ordered to stay away. So she's actually made the first move, because it's really hard once you are out of the marital, or because they're not married, but when are you out of the primary residence that both of you guys reside in, the person that usually is in the house most likely have the rights. And plus now he's out of the house, so if the court grants him to have visitation or grants him to come back, or the order is dropped, he's actually not going to move back in the house. He's not going to come back into the house. And it goes, David denies these allegations, sadly threatens threatened of domestic violence or something Hudson likely takes very serious given her family history. Her brother, mother, and nephew were killed in 2008 by her sister's estranged husband, William. In 2012, he was convicted of all 3 counts of first-degree murder. So it seems like the mud is going. So what do you guys think about Punk? Do you really think that he did this? Do you think that, Jennifer Hudson's actually doing this because she's trying to get ahead of the game? And, she's doing a lot of wonderful things right now. She's on The Voice. She's having her own record label, her own production company, and things like that. But if she's not actually telling the truth, this is some shadiness because, she's actually hurting her child when she says that he's not capable of being a decent father. He's abusive. He has anger issues. And if he's not like that with their son at all, and he's a wonderful and caring father, that is wrong. And that's going to hurt her child. And her child's going to know this. This is going to be in her child's, childhood memories. And if he has memories of his father being a loving, wonderful father and protecting him and being there all the time while mommy was away, and now the child's father is going to disappear from his sight because of the protection order, then, it's going to come back to haunt Jennifer Hudson if she's actually lying. So, but it also begs to differ that, when Punk, got engaged to, David, when David actually got engaged to Jennifer Hudson, right after he asked for her hand in marriage, her mother, her brother, and her nephew was killed, right after. So that explains one of the reasons why they did not get married right away. Because how can you get married when your brother, who possibly could have walked you down the aisle, your mom helped you with your wedding, your mom being there for your first wedding, and then having your nephew gone and you just got engaged, and then on top of that, you're in a spotlight, people accusing you, people saying that, oh, you should have moved your parents out the hood, you should have moved your brother and your nephew out the hood and things like that. I don't know if Jennifer Hudson had the money to move her parents, her mother out the hood, her brother out the hood, her sister out the hood, or, was she able to assist her sister in her domestic violence situation with her estranged husband? So it just seems like, they were doomed from the beginning, because as soon as he proposed to her, right after, her family was assassinated. And so how could she love? How could she want to get married? How can she be enthusiastic about getting married when she just lost her mother, her brother, and her nephew? There's no way. So I know David Otunga had to put up with this, not put up with it, but he had to be a supporting role. He had to, help her through this, and also put his feelings on hold of not actually marrying the woman of his dreams, because from what I found out about David, he really loved Jennifer Hudson, whether she was thick, whether she was skinny, and he wanted to be with her. And he seems like one of them guys that will devote his life to his wife, to his girlfriend, to the mother of his child. And you see that he's stuck around for 10 years, not stuck around, but he participated. He wanted to be married. He wanted to be engaged. He wanted to be a husband. He wanted to be a father, with Jennifer Hudson. They basically, whoever. And it seems like the hand totally goes to Jennifer Hudson and not wanting to get married. Or maybe 6 or 7 years down the line, he realized, okay, maybe it's not a good idea for us to get married. Maybe they were both on the same page when they first got engaged. But after Jennifer Hudson's family was assassinated, then she didn't want to participate in getting married at the time, because she was going through so much hurt and mourning and probably depression and PTSD as well. And then, when she was probably ready to get married, he probably wasn't ready to get married. So it could be vice versa. One year one wanted to get married. The next year, the other one didn't want to get married or wanted to get married. So it can go back and forth. And we also have interviews with, Jennifer Hudson with SM Magazine saying that after she attended, Ciara's fairy tale wedding, she wanted to get married. She loved the wedding dress. She wanted to be in a wedding dress. And it says, this is what she says to Essence, Jennifer Hudson. After being at Ciara's wedding, I am like, okay, Hudson said, I don't know, it inspired something. I just love her dress. It was so beautiful. So that made me say, okay, all of my friends and peers are married now. You know what I mean? when Essen told Hudson fans are just waiting to see her in a wedding dress, she agreed. But it just seems like with that statement, she could have just been caught off guard. But with that statement, it's not because she wanted to be married, because her friends and her peers are married, and her fans want to see her married. And well, okay, I think I should get married. So it sounds like Jennifer Hudson did not want to get married to Punk. And I believe, my opinion, I believe that she didn't want to get married to Punk after her family was assassinated, because she probably changed as a whole person entirely. She probably changed from that loving, that wonderful, sweet old girl or whatever, a woman, because she had to be filled with grief and hurt and pain still to today from that. Whether she had a great relationship with her mom, her brother, and her nephew, having them assassinated all at once, and on the behest of, they wanted to get money from Jennifer Hudson. It was like a ransom thing, but he actually went there and did it. But I think he was going to kill Jennifer Hudson's family just to hurt his estranged wife. And if she could have possibly put her family on a plane and moved them away, including the sister, her sister estranged husband, and if she could have, or if she volunteered to, or she didn't volunteer to do that, that could be some hurt where she could actually be blaming herself, blaming her success, blaming her career for what happened to her family, or possibly not doing as much as she felt like she could. I'm not saying that she did anything wrong at all, but sometimes these thoughts go through people's mind while they're going through grief, because one of the stages of grief is blaming yourself. And so I think after that, she lost a lot of love. And I think the only love that she really had left inside of her was the son that she gave birth to, because, that's her immediate family now. Even though her and Punk was, common law husband and wife, but they actually didn't say I do. They was just engaged. Probably was the closest thing. Her son is the closest thing to her, like her family was. And her son's the only thing that really she actually loves. But and having him being taken away from her, or having joint custody of being without him at this time and point, or knowing that when she calls home, her son is not going to be there, it's actually going to be with David, that maybe this is one of the reasons why she started to throw the mud and slang. It could be because, she lost her family, her immediate family, and, her son is her immediate family now. So, but if she really loves her son and these allegations are false, it shows that she really doesn't have that much love left in her, or she don't have love in her if this is all a lie. So hopefully none of this is a lie. She's actually telling the truth, and she's not doing it just to gain custody of her son and property, because people are saying that she doesn't want to pay alimony, she doesn't want to pay child support. But that's a small amount to pay when you're actually doing something physically and mentally harm done to your son, which he might never recover from or never forgive you for, because if these allegations are false, the son will grow up not despising his mom, or he might grow up, or he might, ignore it. But it just seems like it's really a sad situation. And Jennifer Hudson's on a rise right now. I mean, she's really on a rise with a lot of things that she's doing. And also Punk, he was on I Love You New York. He's been a wrestler for WWE. He's also an announcer. He also graduated from Harvard Law School, and he's actually a lawyer. And, he's not a bum. He's, you know what I mean? Like, you don't really know any poor lawyers. Only poor lawyer I know is the one on TV, which You Better Call Sal. You know what I mean? And so, like, he can actually make a good living anywhere, and actually, find a decent job where he can make a good 100 figures, a good 6 figures a year. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like he's destitute for money, and he probably would have stayed in this relationship with Jennifer Hudson, maybe because, he seems like the type of guy that is really into family bond and being close to family and, things like that. But, we'll see what happens with this situation. And also, Jennifer Hudson said that Punk has cheated on her. She says that this is what Jennifer Hudson allegedly says. Allegedly on Wednesday, Jennifer Hudson was at the recording studio and David could not reach her. He reportedly asked her son to tape his mom because he believed she is dating a producer, which Hudson denies. When they got home, David was visibly angry, grabbed David Jr. by the hand and physically pushed Hudson out of the master suite. She claims their son, a makeup artist, and an assistant all witnessed this incident. So it was Jennifer Hudson actually cheating on Punk, and she actually moved on and was, wanted to be with somebody else. Because evidently, she wasn't all in awe of him, because she would sign on a dotted line, because it seems like Jennifer Hudson is the one that did not want to get married, and previous interviews and statements she has made to the media. So did Jennifer Hudson actually move on? And David is a figment of her imagination. Now, only thing is, she got a child with him and she's trying to get full custody because she don't want nothing to do with him. So we'll see what happens in that situation. What do you guys think? How do you feel about the situation? Anyways, I'm out. Peace. One love to all my peeps.